I need to share screen. Oh no, I don't have share screen thingy-majiggy. Yeah, I'm just gonna start intro without the slides. Okay, there. Now we're good. Yeah, so for everyone who wasn't here for session 0, welcome to our School Ignite Flare course. So last session, what we did is we basically covered we have this thing called Ignite points, where you can look at it on the website, but it's just incentive for finishing the end of session exercises, doing attendance. We also set up Python, a code editor. We use Visual Studio and Pygame, which is the library that we're going to be using. So like I said, these slides and all the information you can find on the School Week Ignite website. You just do, just search up School Week Ignite, and well, just schoolweekignite.com. But if you forget, you can always just search it up, and it's usually a first link. You go here, get information. Okay. So this session is going to be we're going to do a little bit of review, and then we're just going to start with Pygame. I personally believe that the best way to learn anything is okay, this is also proven, right? But we want to be doing stuff. So I will run through the review really quickly. You can come back to it later. And then same thing with a lot of the lecture stuff. I will be going pretty quickly, but you can always ask your mentors questions in the breakout rooms, and we'll have these throughout the session. So you don't need to worry too much if it's don't worry. Once you get to use it, it'll make much more sense. Okay. Review, right? So if else statements, hope you remember what these are. If one thing's happening, do this. If another thing's happening, do the other thing. All right, it's pretty intuitive, right? This thing, and it's an extension. Now you can have multiple situations. You can check for if the string equals A, B, or C, okay? So this thing's pretty important. Oopsie. Important to remember, one equal sign is you're assigning a value to a variable. So x equals 3, and equality is when you're checking for whether two variables are equal. So that's something you don't want to miss. Okay, so that brings us to our first question. And so what you want to do is you want to assign to top hat. If you didn't do this last session, you didn't look at the slides, you can create an account, go look at the session 0 slides. Once again, go to the website, go to the sessions, and go look at session 0. It's pretty simple. It gives the instructions there. But for everyone else, you can open it and enter this join code. I think you might not have to enter it, but log into your accounts and we'll do this review question.
Here is the join code if you haven't joined our top hat. Just make sure to put your school as University of Calgary. Are you guys able to see it?
Can you put the question back on the screen like we can? I need to read it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, if you guys need to see the question, just
we can put the link of the slides the chat.
We can add a little bit of, well, I guess yes. So you go to the slide and just look at the code.
You guys have 15 seconds left to answer.
Okay. So yes, answer is D. Why? Okay. I guess I have to screen share again. We'll run through it really quickly. Let's just go here. Oh, wait. Does this full screen? Yeah, it does. Okay, perfect. So results is equal to a bit of math here, which is what min m times value divided by 2. So it's 4 times 5, 20 divided by 2 equals 10 plus 4 is 14. So result is 14. Is it larger than 25? No, it's not. So then you jump to the next one. You say, is it less than 20? Yes, it is. So it prints less than 20. And then you keep going down, straight down, right? And so this is another if statement. Then it also runs and checks if it's greater than 0. It is greater than 0. We print 0, and this else statement is tied to this previous if statement, so it doesn't run unless this is false. Then next we have lists and loops. Hopefully y'all are familiar enough with Python, so this is going to be quick as well. All right, okay, list. I do so for storing values. You should have used like quite a bit of this if you've done any coding in Python. Oh yeah, remember that the index starts at 0. There's a cheat sheet you can come back to later. Basically, a few like functions that are built in. You can check the linked list, add stuff, blah blah blah. For loops allow you to basically go through each item in a list. So if I do this for item in shopping list, then you basically it sets starts with the 0th index of the list. So the first item in the list sets that as item. Then after the second time it runs, it's ham, then cheese and onions. If you guys are wondering how like for list x in like range whatever works, it's the range thing also returns the list. You know, when you do like range 1 to 5 or something, it does return a list. So that's how it works. Once again, if anything was unclear here, you can go ask in your breakout rooms. While loop is like a for loop, but there's no list to iterate over. Instead, it just keeps doing the action until the condition is no longer true. And there, we have our second question. And if you okay, let's say if you need more time, put something in the chat. So just so we know like roughly how much time to give. Also, I don't think everyone is in Top Hat. Okay, we can do the second question. So we have like what, 5 mentors, 18 mentees, roughly. Or I guess we have six mentors. Anyways, yeah, so there should be 17 of you on the Top Hat. Okay.
I think everyone has answered.
Okay, perfect. We have everyone answered it correctly. Wait, great. I guess I don't really need to go over that. As I can for the sake of the video, the recording. Okay, boom, boom, boom. For light and traffic lights, oh sheets, what happened? If the light's red, we're waiting. I mean, yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Okay, okay, fine. For people who didn't understand for some reason, this is probably going to be mostly for the recording, but we go through each item in the list. It sets it to red. It's red. Okay, we put rating. Red, waiting. Keep going. So next. So functions should have used these before as well, but it's just like way to like reuse code more easily instead of copying and pasting the whole block. And it's just more review. You'll use these. So you can come back to the slide if you forgot for some reason. But once again, the assumption is that if you want to have like an easier time, like with Pygame, you're either gonna have to like do a bunch of review or you already know the stuff. And so yeah, example of function, you have an add function and it just gives you return whatever. So return is what the function returns, right? So so over here you define your function and then later you put the value of the function in. Well, you could just print the function directly. You could just say prints. Ooh, I can't edit it here, but you could just say print at 3, 5, and as long as you have a return function, that's what the print statement will print. Like whatever's next to the return function. Okay. Quick question number 3. We are moving by. So something's wrong with this code. Figure it out. You know. Once again, should have access to the slides, so just you go there if you can't see the question. If anyone's having like any technical difficulties or something, just make sure you put something in the chat. Otherwise, we can't help you. Okay, yay. Yes, answer is B. And so supposedly it's okay. First of all, this doesn't actually return an error. It'll just print like I don't have an example, but it'll print like the object. It'll print something like in triangular brackets. You'll have. I need to go back into editing mode. Let's escape presenting mode. Yes, there you go. So what you're actually gonna see in the terminal, if you've ever tried this before, you'll get like objects at blah 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 blah. Blah. There's be like a bunch of numbers. So if you don't have a return statement on your function, then it will print like the actual function object itself because the function is an object. So in this case, we're like judging on based on the code, it's not very useful to like just print the object. So we actually want this value over here. We want to return value. All right, this is what you want to have at the bottom. That's what we're looking for. These, oops, yeah. Okay, that's that. And so I'm not sure what the other options were again, but that's the reason. If you're like, if you weren't sure why the option that you chose was incorrect, you can ask your mentor later, or you can drop something in the chat. Someone else will answer. Okay. So some of the stuff, if you attended School Link Ignite in the past and you did not do anything outside of it, like the beginner sessions, and this may be new, but if you're like, if you've done Python, this is probably not new to you. So we have tuples, which are basically lists, except you can't change them. Really, that's it. The main reason that we're covering it is just like if you see this in Pygame, you'll be like, oh, what is this? Oh, it's just a list. Basically a list, but you can't change it. And usually, I guess you would use a tuple for some sort of like data that you don't want to be changed, because then it'll throw an error if you accidentally try and change it. There's some caveats with this, such as like when you have lists within tuples, but we're not going to talk about that unless you do encounter it or do want to learn about it. Then just ask your mentor. Okay.
All right.
And so we're going to go with we're going to be doing our first exercise. I believe. Yes. Okay. We're just going to do our first exercise, and you're going to write some code to find and print the smallest x coordinates in here. So yes, like I said, breakout rooms, as promised, we jump into our breakout rooms, we go do this challenge, share with your group whatever solution you came up with. And let's go.
Ryan,
okay, yeah, I have to.
Your screen.
I think 15 minutes. And then if you didn't get it for some reason, you can always come back to it. So we'll do a 15-minute breakout room, then we jump back through the rest of it, and yeah.
All right.
Oh, do I have... Oh, oops. I'm not sharing the slideshow. No, that's so silly. Okay, thank you, Fidel. Also, correct me if I said your name wrong, but anyways. This is the exercise, and we're just gonna go and do this in breakout rooms. So yeah, usually how it works is you just like try and come up with your own solution. If you get stuck, go talk to your group. Okay. Okay. Am I the one with it? Oh, no, I have to create the breakout rooms. Okay. Okay. So I'm creating the breakout rooms. You should know which group you are in based on the email that you received. And basically what you do, I think, is you go into the section where it says more, and then you click breakout rooms. So bottom bar, you click more, or maybe it just says breakout rooms, but you click on the breakout room button, and then you should be able to choose a room to go to. You just click join, yes. If you don't know what group you're in for some reason, just put something in the chats. Oh, I'm still sharing. Okay. And once again, you should be able to find the slide and the exercise on, well, I sent the slides in the chat, so All right, everyone, off you go. I'm gonna start assigning people to rooms. Whoever's not in your room, leave. If you're with Eric, you're in room 1. If you're with I actually don't know who the original mentor for group 2 was, but if you're in group 2, you're gonna be room 2. You're gonna be with me in room 2. If you are in group 3, you're gonna be with Fidel. Group 4, Aditya. Group 5, Joanne. And we have 9 people left here. Who is not? Okay. So what's going on? Oh.
Rishi,
Okay.
you're
Okay.
2. You should enter 2.
Wait, Jahan, can you
Yeah, I'll do
assign
the.
everyone else to their
Yeah,
rooms?
yes,
I'm just
yeah.
gonna go jump into room 2. So wait, is my volume not working? Hang on. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Nothing.
Oh, Rishi, you are in group 2.
Shauna, you're in group 5. Hafsa, you're in group 5 also. Jordan, I believe you are in group 1. Okay, so if you look at the bottom bar, you see that there's an icon with 4 squares. You press on that, it says join breakout room. Can you see that? Just wait. Wait a second.
Happening. Oh.
Okay. That's good. Okay. Got it. Yeah, I think you are in group 5. Mustafa, you're in group 2. And Shishi, not sure. You can just join any random breakout room.
Okay. We still need to get everyone back. Okay. Yeah, if you're watching the video, you can probably skip 45 seconds forward because we're still waiting for everyone to rejoin the main meets. All right. Is that everyone? Okay, that's everyone. Hello, someone's chat message. Okay, okay. Yeah, so if any of you were in a DTS group, like he has probably told you guys already, but you will just be reassigned amongst the rest of us. Well, actually, I don't know if the assignments have been fixed or have been made yet, so you can just choose, I guess. Or yeah. Wait, is that everyone? Let me see. 1 second. I believe everyone's back, right? Yeah. What? Yeah, everyone's back. Okay. Perfect. Off we go. Oops. Yay. So, what is next for us? Yes. Oh, I guess I should probably go over a solution, right? Actually, no. If you didn't come up with a solution, you can talk to the people in your group. But I think for the sake of getting through the big group session part quickly, so we have more breakout room time, I will not go through a solution. But the short version in like pseudocode is you would loop through the whole thing. And so one index, like one of the items in your, if you did like a for loop over coordinates, your first item would be like 22, 10. And then because you're checking x coordinates, you would take like the 0th index. So you do something like for I in range, I guess for coordinate and range coordinates, coordinates, and then you do 0, like square bracket 0 to access the first index. And then you would just like, if the coordinate is smaller than your current minimum, do make it the new minimum. Or you could like compare them all at the same time. You could like put the first coordinate of each of these each of these tuples into a list. Anyways, yeah, and like actually one of my students, they did list comprehension. So they basically went through like, okay, I won't go into that, but basically the short idea is that you take like all the first values of each of these tuples, you put them into a new list, take the minimum of that. It's probably like the fastest way, but it doesn't matter. If you got it done, you got it done. So that's good. If you didn't, you can get back to it later. So next up, we have the dot operator, which you may or may not have seen, depending on whether you've done like Python outside of the Scholastic Ignite sessions. But once again, I will be going through this pretty quickly because you get it once you start using it. So most things in Python are objects. So I don't know if you will be told this outside of this, but I'll tell you. So most things like shopping list is an object, right? And so a lot of things that we do in Python they have like a bunch of built-in functions. So like strings, lists, numbers, whatever, like almost everything in Python is an object. And a lot of like the things that you can't do, like list.append or .remove, are actually just built-in functions. And so the way you access these built-in functions is we use the dot operator after the object. So it's like we're calling the append function of the list. And you'll see more examples later. And yes, you can also use dot operators to basically, if you have a dog object, you can use the left front paw, which is presumably accessing a property of the dog, which properties are like variables, right? And then we have move, which is a function. It's pretty intuitive the way it's written, but basically first you access the dog, then you access whichever paw that you want to use your function on, and you use the function, right? And like I said, once again, we'll get more examples once we actually start coding. All right. So you'll see this a lot in Pygame as well. So usually use Pygame dot to indicate you're using something from the Pygame library. And in this case, we want to use like, I believe it's the class, the image class from the Pygame library. And within this image class, we want to call the load function on, whatever image you have. So yes, what we're going to do next is y'all can go and get some starter code. Okay, I need to. Oops. So you can just go there, and there's not really much instructions to follow. What is this? Oh wait, that's not the right one. Ignore that. Oh wait, no. Y'all. Oh, I should probably share my whole screen, right? Okay, let's do window. Let's do window. So basically, I hit this link here, and then I go and I click copy and rename.py. I don't really think you need to go super in detail and do the instructions one by one. Basically, once you go and you get into this file that's called main_copy and rename.py, I like to do controls. Actually, no, I guess you could just download it. You download it with this button in the top right, and then you drag it into your folder that you're going to use for VS Code. So in this case, I would just drop it here. Whoops, what happens? Yeah. And so you can see this. I don't have it in a folder right now, but usually what you want to do is you want to create a folder called like, I don't know, name it whatever you want. And then you put all of your files that you're going to use into it. And that way, so if you want to add like images and stuff, you put it in the folder and everything's like if you're coding a game, for example, then everything's like in one place instead of just being on your desktop. Otherwise, there might be like other files which have name conflicts or whatever, right? So I'm just going to delete this because I already copied it over. And then I will be going over it. Let's see. Oh, I wasn't sharing my file system, but whatever. Basically, I was saying you want to create a folder to put your stuffs in. And let's do, what should we share? We'll share the entire screen, I guess. Okay. Right. Oh, that's too much. Okay, so I'm going to go over the code real quick. And we'll go here. We'll do... okay, well, that doesn't work. Okay, fine. We'll go here. We'll go in VS Code. We'll go open file. Actually, no. Let's do open folder. Because I said we were going to work with folders, get into good habits. So we're going to go open this one. So my main file, main.py, is in this School Lake folder. And yes. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah. What can I say? What's going on? Yay. There we go. I believe these slides do not add that much value. Okay. I just want to quickly check though to make sure I'm not missing anything. Boop 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 boop. Okay. Yes. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna run through each of the sections that are like shown that there's documentation on, and then we'll go and do some stuff after that. Okay. So yeah. So let me check. Am I sharing? Hopefully I am sharing. What's going on here? 1, 2. Say. All right. I am sharing, right? Seconds. Oh dear. I'm pretty sure I'm sharing the whole thing. Do I need to share the whole screen? Screw it, I'll just share this. Okay. Yeah. Okay, setup section, right? Setup is basically we're gonna define like a bunch of constants that we'll use later. We're gonna create a screen thing, which I believe this code runs. Okay, my computer is a bit laggy, but if you open this up on your own VS Code and you hit the run button, you'll just see a blank screen. And this screen thing over here really just creates your window with a specific height and width. Set alpha determines like you're gonna have like an there's gonna be transparent pixels in your like some images you upload, they'll have like transparent pixels, right? PNGs, and this alpha thing, if I remember correctly, it's basically determines like what color they're gonna be or how transparent they're gonna be. Like I think you can choose that. But in this case, we just put it at 0, meaning it's gonna be completely transparent as it should be. But you know, sometimes you want to have some fancy function, maybe, then you change that. This clock object is gonna be useful. And basically, we're going to use it to regulate the frame rate of our game. Usually it's for games, Pygames. I mean, it's in the name. And then this is our game loop. I'm just going to say everything in terms of a game, or I guess your program, but we'll call it a game loop. And so we have like a bunch of built-in. We have a bunch of code for like detecting certain like commonly used keystrokes. And you can kind of like follow the pattern to make your own. So you could be like, if keys pressed, dot. Okay. What's a good one? Okay. A or something. So yeah, I'm pretty sure. You can check the documentation, then do something. Do something. So you can add as many as you want. But essentially, so like, if you remember in a game loop, this thing runs every like it runs like what 60 times a second or something, multiple times, many times. And so every time if you're pressing a key, it'll check like is a key being pressed, and if yes, do something. Okay, right, I forgot this part. This part is just to make sure you can actually exit out of your window without force quitting. So yes, these are your keyboard events, your mouse movements, so it tracks your mouse position. And here it is left mouse button or right mouse button. So these we'll work with these later. And then in your update section, you will have like what sorts of commands you want. So maybe yes. Okay, so maybe you would do like collision logic here. You would do like if so in the in your event section, if some key was pressed, you activate like your shoot function. So you say shoots, you know, and then would that actually work? Okay, no, actually no, sorry. All the player controlled stuff would be all the player like functions, player controlled functions that you can call by clicking a button. They would be called up here, but this is like where you actually move it. So if we have key down, we're saying like player.move down, player.move down or something. Over here, you might actually, this is where you would actually say like player dot. This is not actual syntax, but move 5 pixels down. Like usually, this is roughly how it works, but we'll see more as we go. But I think the best examples of what goes in the update section is more environmental stuff as opposed to like player controlled stuff. And environment, I would say like gravity, enemy movements, you know, things that spawn, all that stuff. And okay, that's what would go in the update. We'll see some examples later. And then finally, here is actually when you actually draw onto the screen. So this thing fills the screen with black and it basically covers the old image. So you have like, that's how you create the animation. Because if you don't fill the screen with black, if you remove this line, then you would just have like, if you draw a ball, it would just show like a streak, like a blue streak, like just one big brush stroke instead of the ball moving, because the screen's not being filled over after each frame. And so what you have to be super careful about putting all of your draw code after, like put your draw code after this screen.fill. Otherwise, what you'll be doing is you'll be drawing your stuff first, right? You'll be drawing your stuff up here and then it'll just fill it straight over, which does nothing. Then you'll be like, why is my screen black? Well, now you know. Don't put your draw code up there. And then finally, I think there's more than one way to do this, but this basically says update the display, you know? If you don't have this thing here, your display won't update. And this clock.tick is basically what I mean by maintaining the frame rate is if your computer runs really fast, it won't like do the animation super quickly, even if your computer could process it more quickly. That way it's how do I say this? Yeah, let's just say it keeps the game running at a consistent pace no matter the hardware that you're using, unless your computer's just like so slow that it can't even keep up with like there's 60 FPS or something. Then it's like it will still affect the frame rate, but on average, assuming all computers can run above like a certain benchmark, then you just set your frame rate at like the lowest benchmark, right? And then it's like they're all equal ground. Okay. That was quite a bit of talking. And you can go back to the slides and it will tell you some things pretty similar to what I said, maybe a little difference. And right. So yeah, if you were wondering earlier, screen.fill, wherever it is. In this case, we just gave it a tuple. So we filled it with one color. But or sorry, we just put black. We just said screen.fill black. But this black thing this variable was actually a tuple of like 0, 0, 0. Same thing. You can actually put any color. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make something. Yay. Okay. Yeah, I guess this stuff you can just follow along, to be honest. We're gonna add something to the screen. I guess first of all I can run my stuff to show what happens if I share my whole screen. What is it? 704. Okay, I'll try and go fast. Go fast. Zoom. Okay. Right now it should be just a black screen because we filled the screen with black. Well, I guess why not make it more fun? Go. I don't even know what color this is, but yeah, why not? It'll be some shade of red because there's the most red. This is just how you know. Maybe like a dark red, blue, green. I don't know. What is purple? It'd probably be purple. Red, no, red, RGB, red, green, blue. So what's red and green make? I don't know. Let's go. We're running. Oh, great. Oh, look, I have import issues. Don't worry, it will work on your computer. It won't work on mine because apparently I didn't set up something. So in that case, I am just going to tell you what to do, and then you can do it in the breakout rooms and debug stuff with your mentor while I go and get my Pygame fixed. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to draw something called like a Pygame rectangle onto your screen. So sorry, no, you're going to create a Pygame.rect object, so a rectangle object that's built into Pygame, and then you will draw it. So what we're going to do is you can basically paste this into your setup. especially this part. This is the most important part. You paste your, oh, am I screen sharing? Yeah, I'm screen sharing the whole screen. So yes. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so you can paste this in, which would draw you a rectangle with x coordinates of x 50, 100. Well, you can see an illustration here, and then the width of 200, height of 150. And then in your draw section, down, remember, do it after the screen fill. Do it over here. You put in pygame.draw, and then you want to, no. Okay, sorry, I apparently do not remember how that works, but you want to do pygame.draw.rect, and you pass in the screen on which it should be drawn. In this case, we named it screen as well. And then you pass the color and also the coordinates of your rectangle, which you have conveniently defined beforehand in a pygame.rect object. But theoretically speaking, you could just go and override this with like 0, 0, 100, 100. Oh dear, and it's not showing, but oops. What's a good way to show this? Boom. You could enter the rectangle directly. You don't actually need this pygame.rect object, but as we will see later, this rect object has a bunch of built-in functions which make it easy to work with. So, whoops. Okay. Just for example, you have you can use rect.x, which gets you the x coordinate of the rectangle, or you can do like rect.top left, right? Or you can do like x.middle. So that's like useful stuff that you can use, and that's why we create an object that we can change. And so like if you change the attributes of this rectangle in your while loop, you would have to do it, you probably do it in the update section. Like if you change your rectangle x coordinate, for example, then because you're passing that rectangle into your draw function later, then you would actually be drawing it in a different location as well. So yes, that would be also a hint to our exercise. And oh yeah, okay, that's basically what I was talking about. Okay. And so in this case, this example here just says like make a rectangle and use, yeah, okay, I mentioned the dot operator and how you can access stuff. You can look up Pygame documentation to see everything. And so this example here is just like increasing the width by 3, which would cause your rectangle to grow really fast if you put that into the while loop. And this one increases your height by a fixed amount, 40, which grows at a constant rate. And yeah, so with that, we can spend the rest of session figuring out, if you wanted, you could figure out the last one, and you also get time to work on your practice question and ask like whatever you want to your mentor. And yeah, it doesn't have to be coding related. If you're curious about like university or whatever, just like ask questions. This is what Scholastic Ignite is for. Yeah. Okay. Oh, do I have to open the breakout rooms again? Yeah, if you were with Aditya,
yeah, if you were with Aditya, can you please join group 3?
Okay. Oh, red and green makes yellow. Okay. Apparently. Okay. And yeah. Oh dear.
Yes, if you're in group 4, join group 3, please.
Okay. I think the last thing some of you may have had questions about is like where to submit them. You find it on the last slide. You can find it on the last. Oh shoot. I think this is not updated. Yeah, I don't think the link is updated. Yeah. Yeah. There will be an exercise submission link. I think it is the version I see here on the last slide is either it's named the wrong thing or it's not for the right one. I don't know where it goes, but give it a day. Check back tomorrow on the same slide. So check the session 1 slide or check the Schoology Ignite website and we'll have it updated. But normally how you'll find the submission links is usually you just go to schoologiignite.com, right? Okay, I'll screen share, why not? Yep. You go here and then you go here, Flare. But at the moment, as you can see, it says Scorch, that's like the web dev session. So either we duplicated it and we named it wrong. I don't know what happened, but either it's named wrong or this is not leading to right things. So give it a day, and then as soon as you see that this thing has been renamed to Flare exercise submission form, that's how you know it works. Okay. Yes. Yeah. And yeah, everyone can go. If you do have any questions, you can ask them right now. And mentor stay or debrief. Oh, I don't have access to the debrief documents. Oh, 43. Sure. What is slide 43? Oh dear. Okay. I'll try and make this quick. Oh, 43. Which one is this? 43.